E360 TV proudly presents messages of inspirational stories. Live streaming now to millions of devices, including Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, with your host, Donna and Jim, producer and host, Jim Grant, producer and host, along with Michaela Vidal, administrator and host, and Gaia Ginwa Balconi Wada, editor-in-chief.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the messages of inspirational.
Hey, Donna, how you doing today? I got to look at the
I'm good. We have a little bit
thing
of
up there. Yeah, we got a little bit of a drag there. I don't know what's going on there, you know?
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Wonder if that'd help any. Oh, my goodness gracious. I tell you what. I don't know why StreamYard has got their stuff up there, you know? But anyway, it's interesting. It's interesting today, isn't it? How's your system? Something's wrong there, huh?
Yeah, something's going on. I'm going to jump back in. We've got weather.
Okay.
We've got weather today. So I'm going to jump out and see what happens. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. We're so glad that you're with us here on today's show I don't know what's going on with that live with StreamYard because we do not have a free account there. Trust me on that. But anyway, we got to figure out what's going on there with that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, so thrilled and so happy that you're here. Our show is brought to you by the good guys at the 6minutewebinar.com. And we're also brought to you by the 7 Levels of Truth by Mr. Bill Heinrich. Now, the 6-minute webinar, this enables you to be able to present one single thing that you offer. Whether it's a course, whether it's a training session, of course, that's about the same thing. Whatever it is, one thing. And it has an introduction, a body, a close, and a call to action, all within 6 minutes or less. And that's the beauty of it. And that's the way it works. And we're so glad to be honored by those folks. And also Mr. Bill Heinrich's book here. I got my glass sitting on it, so I got to move my glass. Mr. Bill Heinrich's book, The 7 Levels of Truth, that's brought to you by brought to us by Mr. Bill Heinrich. And this book here says it all, Donna. It really does. It just simply says, this book is for anyone seeking answers, solutions, and success in life. Plus, listen up, folks, it's your birthright. You have the birthright to enjoy love, abundance, peace, and joy. That just kind of hits the whole thing on the head, doesn't it?
It does.
Donna, can you hear me?
It really does.
Oh, okay. I just want to interrupt her from getting a drink there. It's been a while. It's been a while since a couple of us has been on the show. The two of us has been on the same show because it's, it's between her schedule, my schedule, and everything. And last week, ladies and gentlemen, I got sick, and I'm still getting over a little bit of the croupy croup stuff. And we went down to my daughter's house for Christmas, and all the grandkids were there, and we all had a good time, and somebody had a sniffle or sneeze or whatever. We don't know what, but the fact of it is, Ev coming home on Monday afternoon, I think it was. Ev started getting sick, and then she gave it to me, and I remember teasing her about it. I said, at Christmas time, it's wonderful to receive the gift that keeps on giving. But this is one gift I could do without. I tell you.
Right.
Donna, we're going to be talking about some good dogs today. We have actually covered this first dog in a previous broadcast. And some time ago, let me share with you right quickly our programs. On Monday, we're talking about expanding your business. Tuesday is all about finding your health naturally. And Wednesdays is all about mentorship for our youth. That's extremely important, especially with all the doom and gloom and all the stuff going on. And then on Thursdays, pets we love. Fridays, of course, is women in leadership. And we enjoy putting on these shows. And it was about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. I don't remember now. We did a show on Hachiko. I think I mispronounced that correctly. The Akita dog. He lived from 1923 to 1935, and we'll go more into that in just a minute. But what I wanted to share with you as a funny little thing is the fact that whenever we were on one of the dog shows, because we were starting to do dog shows on Thursdays, and I made some kind of a comment, and I really don't remember what it was. And all of a sudden, I'm looking into the camera like I am now, and I'm talking away, and I made a comment, and Donna starts getting the giggles. And not only did she get the giggles, she started snorting too on live TV. And she got me laughing. And we as both had to sign off just by waving. We couldn't, neither one of us talk. But when it comes to our dogs, I've often said many, many times, those of you folks that follow the show, because it's so true. Can you imagine what a wonderful world this world would be if everyone had the loving heart of a dog? Think about that. It's an unconditional love. It's a loyal type of love. And if we would just look at one another, that we're all brothers and sisters by different mothers, regardless of our backgrounds, ethnic, whatever, we're still human beings. And just like Mr. Bill says here in his book, every single one of us, we have the birthright to enjoy love and peace, abundance and joy, because those are the things that make life worth living. It really does. And Hachiko, as I mentioned earlier, he was born in the 10th of November, 1923. He died the 8th of March, 1935. And he was born near a farm in Odate, Akita Prefecture. And I think I'm pronouncing all that right. And a professor at the Tokyo Imperial University brought him to live in Shibuya, Tokyo, as his pet. And Hachiko would meet Nero at the Shibuya station every day after his commute home. And this continued from May 21st, 1925, until the gentleman died of cerebral hemorrhage while at work. From then until his death in 1935, this little Akita dog, he would continue to return to that station every single day, waiting for his master's return. And during his lifetime, this dog built up a culture there in Japan where they loved him, they respected him, they admired him because of his love and loyalty to his master. And because he was such a perfect example for young and old alike to say, hey, we should be loyal, we should be faithful, we should be trustworthy. And they remember well after his death, he continues to be remembered, worldwide. There was even a movie done in 2009, and I think it was Richard Gere was in that movie with him. And
Richard,
let's
yes.
see if, huh? Are you asleep? She's having all kind of issues there, with her social, with her camera and everything. And, Donna, you got to put some quarters in that thing before you come on the show. Bless your heart. I know how that aggravates you, and it's aggravating for when it happens to me. I get aggravated too, but at least the main thing of it is that if you see me say something funny, and she gets the giggling and snorting, chances are you may not hear the snorting going on. You just might get a glimpse of her now and then. But this little dog, Hachiko, I believe that's how you pronounce it, Hachiko. You might correct me if I'm wrong there. My goodness gracious. He continued for years after his master died and going to that same station looking for him. And we're talking 9 years and 9 months and 15 days. He faithfully went to that station every single workday, waiting for his master to come back. 9 years, 9 months, and 15 days. My goodness. Donna, that is just about as powerful of a demonstration that anyone, human or animal, could give, showing their love for their master. You just going to sit there and look pretty and nod?
Sure.
Oh, my goodness. Is your mic on? I think it is. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, sometimes the storms hit, it really goofs up
My
your
mic's
signal,
on.
doesn't it?
Yeah, keep going in and out.
Yeah. Well, just go ahead and say anything you want to, and we'll fill in the blanks there. Don't worry about that.
Oh my goodness. Well,
you have
the worst part is I couldn't hear half of what you said.
It wasn't anything important, so don't worry. I was just talking about Hachiko, how he was very faithful, going to the station, waiting for his master return for 9 years, 9 months, and 15 days after the man had passed away. That is just simply incredible. It really is. I mean, to have that much love for someone. And I guarantee you, there are some ladies out there saying, I wish the man in my life, I wish he'd take some lessons from that dog. I mean, can't even keep that boy focused for 9 minutes. Let's hear you say something. You can sing if you want to.
Oh, I don't sing, number one. You know that.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what's going on. I'm still real glitchy.
Well, you're doing fine. Just go right ahead. Just share with the folks what you wanted to about today's show, the pets we love, dogs in particular, we're talking about. So I just turn the mic over to you and just roll with it.
It's important, Jim. And I hope the audio doesn't keep going out.
It's okay.
But I think it's important. Dogs, famous dogs in history.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really important that we understand not only do they give us unconditional love, and we give them unconditional love, but Jim, life is so short. We don't know how long they're going to be life. And so, we get busy and it's like, right, we get busy. It's like, oh, I don't have time for a walk now. I can't play ball now. You know what? There's going to be a day that you're going to wish you did.
Yeah.
That day will come. So, stop and smell the roses, if you will, with your dog.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are amazing, loyal animals.
That they are. They are just so worthy. I don't know when the term "dog is man's best friend" came about, but it's been around for probably thousands of years. I mean, even some of the Norwegian guys that were so fond of the Norwegian elk hounds, they found the dogs also buried with their masters when both of them passed away. And It could be vice versa. Maybe the dog died first or the master died first, but that's how much they were loved and, how special they were to them. Because I've known some people down the pathway of life that they simply, the only thing they have in their life as far as love goes and companionship is their pet. It could be a dog, it could be a cat, it could be whatever, but that is the one thing that's always there, that's consistent for them. And being creatures, the way we're wired, none of us can live without love. We really can't. We need it. We know we need it. And there is a deep void within the piece of our soul if we don't have love in there. And can you hear me, Donna? Because I don't want to interrupt you, because I know you want to say some things. And maybe what I'm sharing is shocking her. She might say, wow, Jim sounds intelligent today. I'm going to try to get her to giggle one way or another. But let's go ahead and talk about, how important dogs are. And I'd like to share something with you folks out there that I think there might be one or two people listening out there in TV land that would love to hear. We've all lost beloved pets. And back in 2014, just a few days before Christmas, I lost my sidekick for 10 years. He had pneumonia and we didn't know it. And by the time we found out, till the time he was gone, was about 48 hours. And that was one of the most heart-wrenching experiences for me, because the thing about losing a loved one, other people can share in the loss of that loved one, but a dog or a beloved pet, that gets real personal. People can empathize with you and maybe sympathize a little bit, but they can't experience the pain that you experience there with the loss of a pet. They're just, it just doesn't happen. And I remember I was telling a friend of mine, he asked me some questions, and not to make a long story out of this, but I just told him, I said, it's real hard to dig a grave with tears in your eyes. It really is. And one of the things, Donna, his death took me on a journey, because as he was breathing his last, for some reason, I told him it's okay to go home. And it bothered me because of some of the myths and some of the things that I had grown up with. And I started researching, and then a friend sent me the Rainbow Bridge poem. And I'd never seen that before. And I could tell that was written by someone that had lost a beloved pet. And they were writing to soothe their pain. But what really got to me, ladies and gentlemen, was that, why did I say it's okay to go home? And I started researching, a lot of research. And lo and behold, long story short, we don't have to worry about our beloved pets making it home. We have to go look in the mirror and say, that's the person we need to worry about. I'm being honest. Because when you look at throughout the Bible, for example, goodness, all of the things in there about pets, like the covenant after the flood that God supposedly made with, or did make, I should say, with Noah and his family, that he would never have a flood again and to wash away all human life. And then he made the same covenant with all the animals. And I'm thinking, well, if he's not going to wash the humans away, shouldn't the animals be okay too? But he made that covenant because God loves those fur babies just as much as we do. He sure does. And so, yes, and I've written an article on that. If you would like a copy of that article for your own information, email us here at inspiration@e360tv.com. And this is not my opinion. This is not what I think. This is what I actually found in research. And you can draw your own conclusion to it. You may agree or disagree. That's fine. But it was the one thing that brought comfort to me in my hour of need. And if you know someone that's lost a beloved pet, have them get in touch with us here at the TV station, Inspiration E360 TV, and just say information, anything like loss of a pet or something, and our staff will know what you're talking about. They'll get it to me, and I'll get that document out to you, and it's on a PDF file form. And we will not add your email list to try to sell you something else down the road. We don't play that. And Donna, you got a serious look on your face there.
I can't get my connection to work.
Oh, she's still trying to put the two wires together. That's what it is. That's really trying, I know, especially on live TV, because when you go live like we are today, there's no room for error there. You gotta, what you see is what you get, But Donna, when we talk about some of the famous dogs of history, we had a lady on our show a few weeks back. Oh, she was a joy to have on, because you found her. She was up in, was it Wyoming or Montana? Somewhere up there. I'll give you a quarter to say something. I'm going to crack her up yet, guys. Hang in there. But yeah, she was just an amazing lady. And talking about
my system won't work.
Go ahead and share the story.
Her name is Pat, and she is in Montana. Mm-hmm. She is in Montana, and she has 2 children's books based on her own story with her beloved dogs.
Mm-hmm. And those books have really been an inspiration to a lot of people. And it just amazes me. The stories that she tells, she was so, my goodness, it was like you were right there with her all the way around the the trip there. And it just, when it comes to our beloved pets and what we're doing and all, there is so many pets that we've seen growing up on TV, pets that, like Old Yeller and Lassie and, Toto there. But some of the other pets, and they meant a lot to us. They really did. But when it comes to our beloved pets, the ones that really touch our hearts are the ones who are heroes. And these dogs are the type of dogs that really go the extra mile. I really love stories about dogs that work with their human counterparts, such as when 911 happened, and they go in and they help find, people and dogs that are with firemen, and especially rescue dogs that have been trained to be able to be a companion. We had a guy on the show several times, and in their particular program, they have these dogs that are big dogs. Chances are they don't get. Chances are they're not going to get adopted, and they go in and they get these dogs from the shelters, and they train these dogs, and then they bring in 5 or 6 dogs when they bring in a soldier, and they let the soldier and the dog bond out of that group. They just, let them, select each other. And these dogs are trained in special things, such as PTSD. There's dogs that's trained in many other special areas concerning people's health. But these dogs that are specifically trained in PTSD for soldiers, there's no cost to the soldier for those dogs. And most importantly, every single soldier to date that has received one of those dogs has not committed suicide. And the gentleman we had on, his dog was his companion. It was a shadow. And it just worked out beautiful for them. In other words, you saved 2 lives there. especially when the suicide rate in our military personnel is very, very high. Suicide is a horrible thing for any family to go through because everybody questions themselves and blames themselves. I can say that from personal experience because I had a son-in-law that committed suicide. And what really bothered me for a long, 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 long time was the very last conversation I had with him. I was getting ready to do a show, and he says, he was in town. He said, "Hey, Jim, can I stop by and see you?" I said, "Well, I'm getting ready to do a show in about 20 minutes. He said, "Okay, I'll get back with you." That was the last words we ever had. And, that's what Donna was saying earlier. We don't know how long we've got. And we need to make sure that we put the love of another one as our top priority. Because if I asked you out there in TV land, what's the most important thing between those two options? Talking to a loved one or doing a show? That's a no-brainer, huh? Yeah, Donna, she's having all kind of problem there with her internet and everything like that. And I know how she's smiling on the outside, but on the inside, she's going, if this thing had an eye, I'd punch it right straight in the eye. I'm going to get her giggling here in a minute. Well, we may not be able to hear it, but we'll see her. But she does sometimes. She gets a giggling. She can hardly drink because she'll start snorting and carrying on and all those things. But, some of the famous dogs in history, my goodness gracious, Laika, Laika, I guess it's pronounced, was the first dog in space and became a worldwide phenomenon. And he was sent into space by the Soviet Union on their ship, Sputnik 2, in 1957. And this little dog was actually found on the streets in Moscow. And not much was known about the effects on animals in space. And in the hurry to beat the Americans in the space race, they sent this dog into orbit without a means to return her to Earth. And she became the first living creature to orbit the Earth. Originally, it was thought that she had died 4 days into her journey, but it was revealed in 2002 that she lasted about 5 hours before overheating and dying. And that's so sad. But she is memorialized throughout Russia, including a statue in Moscow that was erected in 2008. And of course, I mentioned Lassie. Oh, growing up, Lassie and Timmy and all those experiences. I know a lot of you older folks will remember that show. Lassie was a rough collie, long-haired, and first appeared in a short story in 1939. Lassie has been depicted as one of the most famous dogs in history on TV show. And in 1954 to 1973, the TV show Lassie lasted 19 seasons. That is amazing. And, when I think about some of the escapades that Lassie and Timmy had as a boy growing up, I mean, my goodness, and probably you girls out there too, you probably really embrace that. If you've never seen Lassie, you can go to YouTube, look it up, watch some of the episodes there. And the way Lassie was so well trained to bark and let them know, hey, Timmy's in trouble, or we need to go in this direction, or whatever. And you'd find yourself sitting there trying to tell the grown-ups as a kid, hey, you need to listen to Lassie. Lassie knows where it is, And, Donna, I think we've talked on the show before on a previous broadcast. I'm not sure about Balto, Balto. This was a real Siberian Husky that is credited with saving the town of Nome, Alaska from an outbreak of diphtheria in 1925. This is a real-life hero dog. And in 1925, the town of Nome was hit with an outbreak of diphtheria. At the time, this was a very deadly and a very contagious disease. And the only antidote was hundreds of miles away in Anchorage. And thanks to a lot of bad weather and a bunch of snow. The only way to get to the to Anchorage, where the antidote was by sled. And while a relay of dog sleds passed the antidote off, the final leg was led by Balto, who heroically led his team through 54 miles. Think about this little dog now, 54 miles of blizzards and temperatures of minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. My goodness. And when the team successfully made it to Anchorage to get the antidote, Balto was held as a hero. And in 1995, his story became the subject of an animated movie. He's also been immortalized by a statue in Central Park, New York. And his taxidermied body is preserved and open to viewers at the Cleveland Museum of Natural History. And Donna, you think about, this poor little dog traveling 54 miles at minus 40 degrees. My goodness gracious, I couldn't even travel 54 seconds in minus 40 degrees. You know what I mean? And, it's just dogs like that. They just demonstrate how committed they are. I think, Donna, I really believe that they have the ability to understand a need and understand a higher calling that they need to serve their masters and their loved ones. And many, many times there's been dogs that have, given their life. My goodness, in defense of their owners, their masters, their families, their loved ones. And, it's just like my dog that I lost, Range, my sidekick for 10 years. Every time I would come home, if he was home, the first thing he would do was just run outside. He would already be outside, but run around the corner of the house there in the backyard, bark, 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 bark. He was going to make sure there was nothing out there that could harm me. And I'd like to share something too about dogs. Dogs always have a tendency to go through the door first. And some people won't, no, you wait, let me go out first, and then you come out. And that goes to their grain, because dogs, in their natural nature, their state, as far as protecting the health of the herd, they want to go out first to make sure that the strongest member of the herd is protected. You see that in all types of animals. I remember watching a show one time on cows. Cows have that same type of hierarchy. The cream of the crop of the herd is always in the center, and the weaker ones are in the back. And they just have, and then they have some stronger ones on the outside, and they have stronger ones in the front to lead. And it just comes instinctively to them. Question is, where do they get that from? Where does that type of intelligence come from? It's certainly not trained, because even animals in the wild do that. And Don, I got a comment on your background there. Are you sitting outside in the roses? Is that a full moon behind you? I'm going to see if I can get a smile from her. I'm thinking she can hear me. Can you hear me? I think her screen is frozen or something. They got some problems going on there, but anyway, we're going to drive on. Because when it comes to the famous dogs, a lot of cartoon dogs have been a real inspiration to kids. And I like the cartoons like that because they always teach a good, positive message to kids. And if you're a parent, you got small kids, you may want to research a little bit on YouTube or different places to find good quality cartoons that have dogs in them, because kids like dogs. Especially those dogs that teach, the good lessons in life and positive things, because right now our poor kids, bless their heart, they've just been bombarded with a bunch of negative stuff, and we're all aware of that. And it's really amazing how there is another little dog I want to mention here He's known as Buddy, star of the Air Bud. That's AIRBUD, 2 words. He spawned a multiple sequels and spin-offs and books. He has also inspired us to try and teach our dogs how to play basketball. And it shows some basketball players here hugging him. And the plot of Air Bud is simple. It was a golden retriever. He escaped from his owner, who was an evil clown, and started playing middle school basketball. He led his team to victory, as the tale goes on. After the success, Air Bud, as he is so fondly called, it turned out that Buddy was great at almost every sport, including football, soccer, baseball, volleyball, leading to a variety of spinoffs. The hunger for sports playing dogs didn't end with those films, although a series of Air Buddies about Buddy's puppies has inspired 7 more films. So you might want to check that out. And when it comes to dogs that really, probably one of the most beautiful love stories about a dog would be Lady and the Tramp. I mean, I think every lady out there would really appreciate and enjoy that show. And even I enjoyed watching it, because he was just a tramp. I can relate to being a tramp. Having a beautiful lady, like me, I could live with that. That wouldn't be bad for me. I mean, I'd be man enough to suck it up, and I mean, because I find humor in everything, and I really did like that show, Lady and the Tramp. And the thing it remembers that's branded in your mind when you think about the movie Lady and the Tramp, it's the one of the best kisses between 2 dogs you ever have seen in your life. It really has. This is another great show that might be beneficial to kids. And because it's so positive, it's just a heartwarming show. And, a whole new generation they're going to be experiencing the magic of Lady and the Tramp, because the original version was back in 1955. Again, check it out, research it. I think you might be able to find the full movie on maybe YouTube or something. You may have to pay a little bit for it. I don't know, but that, Donna, to me, that is one of the classic films that could really be a tremendous lesson to young people. I mean, we grew up in a time, you're not as old as I am, thank goodness, but we grew up in a time when, love and respect was things that we were taught. It was things that was important for our parents. Our parents knew that was important principles for us to learn. How to love and how to be loved and how to show respect. And once we do that, that solves a lot of problems on all fronts. And I don't know if your audio is still bad or if you're still licking and twisting the wires together there or whatnot. Can you hear me okay? If you can, just nod your head. I heard you then. Look, you say, I'm like this. That's my mental wavelength that you're picking up on there. Oh my goodness. Yeah. But when it comes to famous dogs in history, there's a whole bunch of good cartoon shows out there that really teaches positive message to kids. And when it comes to dogs, I mean, it's just amazing how dogs can be so great, a very positive influence in our lives. In fact, I really think owning a dog is a very, very good thing for kids because they can show it love, they will get love in return, plus they will learn the importance of being responsible for their pet. And responsibility is something that's very, very critical, especially for young kids to learn and for them to understand the importance of it. And, Don, I feel like I'm hogging the show. And I talk here about two special dogs here. I'm going to talk about Higgins. Higgins was one of the most famous dog actors in the 60s and 70s. He starred in Benji. He was also on a TV show. It was a sitcom called Petticoat Junction. Now, every guy that I know of in the 60s, we were fans of Petticoat Junction. I'm trying to remember why it was so popular to us, you know. It might have been because of the three pretty girls that were on there. I don't know. But it was a wonderful show. But this dog, Benji, goodness gracious, he was just a beloved pet. He played the role of Benji in the original. Higgins was the dog's real name, but he played Benji in the 1974 film. And that original film spawned multiple sequels, including the recent 2018 remake of it on Netflix, Benji. That's Benji for you folks that may not be familiar with the name. But Benji was so universally beloved that even Alfred Hitchcock is said to have had a soft spot for him for the film. And Higgins also appeared in 149 episodes of Petticoat Junction. And he also appeared in the Green Acres Show and also on the Beverly Hillbillies. But for the thing about Benji, that dog there, to be able to spawn that many shows and that many films and all, that just goes to show you how it touched the hearts of the young and old alike. And that's why, you know, I don't know, we weren't planning on going this direction. Of course, we weren't planning on Donna having issues with her signal and all. But, you know, for us to share information to encourage you to, you know, share these beautiful films. They teach good morals, good values, good ethics to your kids, because kids will enjoy, you know, looking at the dogs and being a part of their lives and all that. It's just amazing. Dogs have that ability to reach out to kids where sometimes us grown-ups, we can't. Whether it's a cartoon dog or a real life dog, whatever, it makes no difference. And I want to go a little bit further here, if I may. And there's a dog here now known as Doug the Pug. He has 3.8 million followers on Instagram and frequently meets with celebrities. Now, what's so special about this little dog, Doug the Pug? And on Instagram, his bio says he's the king of pop culture. And Doug has met dozens of celebrities, from Cole Sprouse to Zed to Michael Strahan to the cast of The Big Bang Theory. But what's so special about him? People want to know. How could a little dog like that be such a magnet from celebrities? And it's not only because he's a real cute little dog, but he gained a following in 2014 after a Mashable profile of him. Really, it's really a Mashable profile, and his career took off. Doug has a book called Doug the Pug, the King of Pop Culture. And he has a new line of dog toys as well. So this little dog is really, he's, you know, to be able to have your own, you know, line of toys. I mean, my goodness, that's pretty huge for a dog. And Doug was named the second most influential animal on the internet by Forbes magazine. He even has his own day, May the 20th, officially named Doug the Pug Day by Nashville's mayor, David Briley. And, you know, Donna, I just get amazed at how dogs can touch all of our hearts. Whether they're famous or not, whether we're famous or not, it doesn't make any difference to the dog. I mean, you know, dogs don't care if you're rich or poor or good looking or not good looking, I'll say that. Or you look better with the lights off than on. You know, but when it comes to having love in your life, and especially for your kids to learn love, dogs are just second to none when it comes to bridging that gap. Because in my studies, I was doing my research on Range after he died and all. This one guy who should have known better, I thought, due to his level of education, he made the comment that in heaven, the Creator would not allow us to have our pets up there because we would be showing love to our pets rather than the creator. And I'm going like, where did you get that idea? That is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. And to prove my point, if you brought a puppy home and you gave it to some kids, your kids, and the kids and the puppies are out in the backyard, the puppies out in the backyard, and they're all laughing, they're running and playing, the kids are with the dog, and they're rolling around on the ground, the dog's licking their face. That just brings your love to a brand new height because you love seeing that. Because one thing about love, it's not pulled away. When you share love, it just explodes. It really does. It just mushrooms right up there. And that is one of the nice things I like about dogs because they have that unique ability of bringing out love, especially with kids that have problems, especially kids that may be bullied at school, as sad as that is, or they may have a health issue. Dogs can sense that, and dogs will turn up that love an extra notch for those kids. And Donna, I tell you right now, I know you've had a lot of good things you'd want to say today, and you're not able to. And bless your heart, I feel sorry about that. And it sits there and gives me these signs. I can't make a heart with my. I guess it's a lady thing. I don't know. I can't make a heart with my fingers. It might be because of my thumb, And this is actually catching, Donna, because he went over here and got on this one here too. But I just, us doing Pets We Love every single Thursday is a joy and a jubilee for us because of our natural love for animals. And if you go to YouTube, you'll see Pets We Love. You have to click on the videos, and we got a whole string of them there. It's every Thursday, so it's probably every fifth show. It would be every fifth show because they just run chronologically in order there. But Donna, I tell you, you had an experience with your dog here recently that really scared you to death. Her dog is Jake. He weighs, he's about 4 foot long. He's a great Pyrenees, and somehow or another he got into the pool, and he doesn't like water. And the pool water was very, very cold. And Donna doesn't know how long he was out there, but she had to get in that cold pool of water. And it was a struggle to get that big of a dog out because he's big, he's heavy, he's long, and he could hardly walk. And I'm going to do probably a horrible job of describing everything. You can correct me if anything I need to add or correct in private chat there if you like. But she was finally able to get him inside and cover him up and dry him down and all that. And it just made his love for her go up a notch higher because he was really poured on the love and affection. And he let Donna know we're closer now than we were before, even though that's Donna's dog and that's her shadow. And if anybody comes in the house, the first thing that Jake's going to do is evaluate. You figure he was in the water for about 2 hours. Thank you, Donna. Wow. It's a wonder if hypothermia hadn't set in, and it's a wonder he even made it. It really is. And I know how much you love that dog and how much he loves you. And it's just amazing how that brought both of them, even though they're very already close, it just brought them closer. And that is just beautiful. It really is. And, Donna, when it comes to dog tips and things like that, one of the things, excuse me, one of the things I wanted to share about that, there is a website called topdogtips.com. And they have everything listed there that you could possibly think of. It starts out, it talks about the 20 most friendly dog breeds in the world and dog teeth chattering. What does it mean? I think I know what that means. I give them space when I start seeing them teeth. And, it's just amazing how a recipe for Christmas cookies for dogs. My goodness gracious. And they also, this is about all all the pets there. They got some information here on cats and how to pick the right pet sitter for people that have want to pick a pet sitter. They got cat food recipes, dog food recipes in here, pet relief hemp oil, and hemp edible for dogs. Now, there's been a lot of study recently on that to help relieve pets, older pets who are suffering from pain, and hemp oil and some of the information like that. And it really makes a difference. And I didn't see this one note here when getting back to Jake, when he was in the pool for about 2 hours. Donna said she woke from a dream that he was hurt or dying, and she went to check on him, and that's how she found him. Wow. That had to be a calling from above right there. And sometimes we get those special callings in life, and we need to listen to them. And I don't know, I've thought about myself many times when I get so caught up in the process of living that sometimes the content of life kind of gets put on the back shelf. You know what I mean? And we all do that. We all get busy. We all get, caught up in things. But it's the little things in life that really matter. I remember when I had surgery one time, Range, I was laying on the couch and I had a hernia surgery. So I was kind of limited. I wasn't in any pain or anything, but kind of limited on what I could do. And so the first few days after surgery, I'm lying around on the couch and he came up and he sniffed my ear. He went down my side. He really sniffed that area where I had surgery on. He went down my leg to about my knee, came back, rechecked that area again, came back up to the side of my face. He licked my face and then he laid down and he said, "We need to rest." And he took a nap with me. And those are the kind of things that are so precious to you. And those are the kind of things you remember, you treasure. And one day, ladies and gentlemen, for you folks like us that's lost beloved pets in the past, one day you will be reunited with that beautiful pet, never to be separated again. And if you like the information I found and what I put together, be sure and email us at inspiration@e360tv.com and just put the word pets in there or whatever. And just put my name in there, Jim, so they'll know where to come to. And one of our staff members will get it and they'll get it to me. And I will be more than happy to share that information with you. It runs parallel with the poem, The Rainbow Bridge. Excuse me. Almost made it the whole hour without my throat going dry. But it would be my pleasure to send that to you because I know the pain and suffering I went through and searching for an answer of why did I tell him it was okay to go home. And because I never said that before, it just came out. I didn't even think about it. It's okay to go home. And I was petting him, comforting him, because that's all I could do to him in his last few moments of life. That was all I could give him. And to know I'll see him again, I better worry on getting myself up there. That's the bottom line. Don't have to worry about our pets. We have to worry about ourselves. But our time is about gone, ladies and gentlemen. And even though Donna's been doing things with, how you do that hard again? Is that? Oh, no, that ain't right. It's, I'm a guy, what can I say? I'm going to use that as an excuse anyway. But I see people making hearts and all that. And it's not that I'm heartless. It's just that I can't make a heart with my hand or anything like that. The finger's getting away. Donna's going to send me to night school, and now she's starting to giggle. But if you could hear a mic, you might hear a snort or two because she can snort and get going. I'm telling you, because she has cracked us here at the TV station many, many times from laughing and snorting and carrying on. But it's been fun. But ladies and gentlemen, as we bring our show to a close today, we simply want to remind you of a very, very, very important message that Mr. Bill Heinrich writes about in his 7 Levels of Truth. Remember one thing: no matter what someone may say to you, you have the birthright to enjoy the abundance of love, peace, joy, and the best that life has to offer. You have that birthright. You really, really do. You have the right to be loved, and you need to love yourself first so you can love others. And because once you love yourself, then you can be a good friend to someone else. And you can also use that same love you have for yourself to give yourself grace and forgive yourself. Because that's something we all need. We all need grace. We all need love. We all need forgiveness. And many times we need to forgive ourselves and not be hard on ourselves. When you make a mistake, just own it. If you have to say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, so what? Everybody else on planet Earth has probably made more mistakes than you. So, anyway, our time is gone, and I better get off of here before I run out of quarters like Donna has, and my internet stopped working or whatever. But thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us today. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you, folks, so much. All you good people over in India and Pakistan, Indonesia, around the world for tuning into our show. We sincerely appreciate it. And in the words of Donna today, she's going to kill me after the show. We'll see you tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good day. We'll be back with Women in Leadership. Bless you, and we sincerely hope that you and your loved ones are blessed in all areas of your life. We'll see you tomorrow.